Well, good Saturday morning, Moose Tube fans. Lone Moose here. Today's Saturday, June 25th, and today the adventure begins. So please follow along. That's my storage container, or my shipping container. It's a 40-foot high cube, meaning it's a little about 9 foot and 6 inches tall on the outside and about 9 on the inside, that I was working on converting to a tiny house cabin, but it's just got so many problems that next year I'm gonna go ahead and have to start building a regular cabin up here. It just got to be a big money pit. Okay, like I said, today is June 25th, and it's a very fitting day for me to start construction on the container back here. June 25th was my late best friend Byron Smith's birthday. You know, lost Byron a few years ago, unfortunately, way too early. But Byron would have loved this, and he'd been up here helping me every chance he had. So what I'm going to start doing this weekend on the container, get her opened up. I've got my saws in there I got to get out of the boxes and put together, and the generator assembled and running, and then got a French door that's going in here. I'm going to frame in this end right here and put the French door in there, put some siding on the outside of it so that I have a way of securing it. Put in, start with the subflooring and work back as far as I can. I picked up a bunch of materials yesterday. I got mosquitoes flying up my nose. And, you know, I have to work it as my budget allows, a little bit at a time, but at least get it habitable. My goal is by, you know, tomorrow evening to be able to move in here, set up the cot, and start staying here. So let's see how it goes. Hope you all enjoy the journey. I know I will. If you like what I'm doing, please hit the like and subscribe button down below. If you want to be notified when I make new videos, if you hit the bell, you'll be notified for that. Please leave me any comments, thoughts, questions below. You know, I appreciate everybody joining me on this journey. Like I've always said, it's a partnership. Now, if it's a partnership, get your tools. Let's get busy. Okay, container is open. Got pretty much everything moved around. Now I've got to start assembling some of the stuff that I shipped up here. I got my great big Duramax generator, a miter saw stand from Harbor Freight, and a miter saw from 12-inch compound sliding miter saw from Harbor Freight. We don't have Harbor Freight up here. We don't have Northern Tool up here. So if you want any kind of things like this, then you just go ahead and buy them and ship them up, because they'll only ship things up to 35 pounds. Unfortunately, Northern Tool will ship more, but you got to pay commercial freight rates. So let me get this stuff put together. I also have a table saw, but I don't know if I'm going to get that table saw put together today or not. I don't think I'll be using it today. I'll focus my energies on what I need for today. Left side is cleared out back to 24 feet. That's where that other table is. As soon as I clear off the back of that top shelf and the other shelf, then I'll put my supplies up there. That one's going to have to stay for a while. This is that chest that Sean wants. I got to bring the dolly back to get it out. And then this other table will go out tomorrow. It'll just be an outside work table. All right, the tables are out. I'm back to about 28, 29 feet when you get to the edge of this stand right here. Now, the stuff on top of that is mine. Underneath is junk. Door is junk. The roofing tar paper is good. The windows I don't know about. Pretty much everything on that second shelf is junk. And there's a little bit behind here that is. So I'm gonna load me up a dump run and get her moving. All right, let's take a look inside the container and see what I've been up to. This was literally filled with junk from the previous owner. And I made several trips to the trash transfer point to get rid of stuff. So it's pretty well as cleaned out as I'm going to get it here. You know, in the front corner I have my tools that I use, like my post hole digger and brooms and stuff like that, small generator, mosquito spray, and then of course this old lamp that laughingly it's my used chainsaw chain hanger, the chains that need to be sharpened. But I've cleaned it all up as best I can. We come farther back, and this year probably I'm only going to get back about as far as where this first shelf starts. But this is all my stuff in here that's going to stay in here. Leave these shelves here. Again, pretty much everything on the shelves is mine. There's still a little bit on this one, and up there in that top right corner that I need, excuse me, need to get rid of. And then there's tar paper down under there I'll be keeping. And under this shelf is an old gas stove and a whole bunch of windows. And I'll get those out as well and see what's worth keeping and what's not. But essentially what I'm going to be doing in the very immediate future, like next couple of days, is start framing up, and I'm going to put in a French door here just inside of the container doors. So that, you know, when I'm up here and staying in the cabin, I can leave the steel doors open and still have a way of securing everything up. And when I leave in the fall to go back down, then I just close the outer steel door. The inner doors will be locked, and then I'll close the outer steel doors and padlock and chain those up, and everything will be just as tight as snug as a bug in a rug. So, all right, let's take a look outside. Okay, here's kind of an update on where things are progressing. You can see I'm kind of getting this back corner organized. Down on the floor is my big battery, and there's the solar controller, because that's where all of that gear and the breaker box, everything's going to sit. My lumber, what I've been working on the last couple days. I got that shelf system together. That's most of my kitchen and cooking for now. Got this one together today for clothes, my dirty clothes. You know, flip back around what I still got left. Those suitcases, I'll take some more of the clothes out. What I don't keep out here will go to storage. Still got those two totes. You can't see them because of the bright light. This is all construction and working stuff. There's one more box under there to go through. Cardboard box on the ground, if you can see it back there. And those two little totes. Everything else is going to stay around here. So even worst case, that's just not too much to move out of the way to start working on the floor. And I took this little IKEA cart and put it together. It's got my snacks and my medicine and stuff on it. And it's wheeled so it rolls around. So hopefully tomorrow I will get started on adding the next 12 or 16 feet of floor. Dang, that light's bright. Headed out that way. I'd like to go ahead and get it all the way back to this shelf. Right there. Before I leave here. And that way I'll feel a lot better about it, and I'll have more usable space. I can set the bed and stuff up here again if I ever find my legs for the bed. But all in all, it's doing really well. You know, it's just slow progress, but it's progress every day. The loam moves out. I'll update you again when I get some more progress done. Okay, folks. Subfloor framing for the first 12 feet is done. Vapor barrier's down. Next step, I've got to cut that insulation down to fit between the joists here. Then I can put the subfloor on. I get the subfloor on, then I can install the door. Hopefully all that happens today. But right now, I'm going down to Three Bears for a break. Well, guys, gals, friends, folks, family, the floor is in for 12 feet. Got a heck of a glare there. That's as far as I'm going right now. I'd like to go another 12 feet before the summer's out, but that at least gets me the bare minimum to start. Tomorrow I'll put the door and the front wall in, and that'll seal it up. But I'm just too tired tonight, and if I try doing stuff like that when I'm tired, I'm just going to screw things up. So it's making progress. Well, this ain't a crock of shit. The big generator starts, and the voltmeter shows it's putting out 120, but I'm getting nothing from the plugs. So I had to go back to old Furman here and see if it'll run. It'll start and run the saw long enough to make a cut. Need to get a voltmeter to check out and see what's going on with the big generator. Well, folks, it's about 11 o'clock Monday night. Yeah, there's sun. The door is in. It can be secured up. My blackout curtains are in place. I still got some things to do tomorrow to finish it up and adjust and things, but it's basically safe to sleep in tonight, which is exactly what I'm going to do. Still got to get my cot in there and the heater set up, and I'll be good to go. So coming out of the container, you see over here an old stand. This was inside, and I'm going to keep this kind of as an outside work table while I'm building and such. And right now I'm getting the address sign ready to go in tomorrow. And then there was two more big 8-foot long, almost 3-foot wide tables here that tomorrow I'm going to paint those, and I'm going to use those back in the container. One of them to set up, computer gear and everything on. The other one to set up my camp stove and area for cooking and hand washing and all that good stuff. So using part of what was in there. Now over here is the shelter logic, and there'll be a separate video on us guys putting that up. But we got it up over the weekend, and so I've moved some things out here into the shelter logic. I've got some plastic shelf units, and I've got a couple more I need to get because the U-Pack container is here, so I got to schedule delivery for that. My ramps and some of the steel that the previous owner left. Some firewood I cut up last year for campfire. That big box right there, and I've already offered it to Sean in Alaska, and I think he's going to take it. Pretty neat, actually. I think he's going to use it for a battery box for his solar system when he builds it. And of course the necessary cooking wood and charcoal. This box came out of there. I'm using that to keep my petroleum products in. The necessary poop bucket, and that big plastic toolbox is where I'm keeping some of the loose tools and things, and some stuff that was left by the previous owner tool wise. So got all of that taken care of. And then Friday I rented a big brush cutting mower and brush cut all of this around here back as much as I could because it was pretty wet. And the same over here on this side of the container. And of course I had to have Jim and Sean help me get that big piece of tarp out of here. But right there along that edge, the ground drops off pretty significantly. And as wet as it was, it just wasn't safe to be horsing that big mower around. So I'll have to try and get that back out here another day, because it rained on us all weekend. And same thing here, a lot of this, even though some of that up there is not on my property, the owners live in somewhere in California. So I don't think they're going to object if I whack down a bunch of their weeds and get it back away from my stuff. And then I came up here, same thing in the entryway and for the driveway. I need to get a hold of some folks and get some gravel out here, because this, and I forget what Sean called this weed right here, but the last thing you want to do is touch that with your skin, because the oils on there, once it's exposed to UV rays, it'll make you wish you had poison oak or poison ivy. It's really bad from everything I've been told. And of course there's my one of the property stakes, and the other one up there, I don't know if it'll show up or not, but cleaned up a lot of the driveway area. Of course that's gas line right away, not technically my property, but it's the entry to it. So I got a lot to do. Okay, that's my big generator there. I use that to power my power station inside. I have no commercial electric, water, sewer, anything like that. That's my little generator. I use that one to run the dehumidifier. And that's my propane tank. The black cord's power coming in for the dehumidifier. The blue is for my Anchor power unit, which is right here. With that, I can power a couple of lights, my little refrigerator, my computers for work, dual monitors, my laptop, charge some things. That's my storage container, or my shipping container. It's a 40-foot high cube, meaning it's a little about 9 foot and 6 inches tall on the outside and about 9 on the inside, that I was working on converting to a tiny house cabin, but it's just got so many problems that next year I'm gonna go ahead and have to start building a regular cabin up here. It just got to be a big money pit.